My son is turning 3 years old this December. He'll be 3, and whilst his mother will probably be planning a party, I have already planned for his funeral. I know where he is supposed to be buried here in Pretoria. I know the type of a coffin, for I have already bought a coffin for his funeral. Yet he is still 2. I own mining machines, and these are expensive. I rent them out to different mines in the northwest, and these machines, even though they run on diesel, but they also run on my bloodline, for I sacrificed my bloodline. My wife, she knows, and she even is the one that is pushing me to do it because she is barren, and she does not want another woman's child to inherit our money. So if you think that money solves each and every problem, listen to what I have been doing and what I am going to be doing in Pretoria before 2026 comes to an end. Brother Nashi, I am a Zimbabwean man living in Pretoria East, but our family house, it is in Durban. Most of the times, me and my wife, we will be in Durban. We stay in a high security estate in Pretoria East. I am like a success story to my family. I am a man who came from nothing, grew up in Bulawayo, even though I am a Shona speaking man. My dad, he was a police officer. He was transferred from Masvingo, and then he started working in Bulawayo. Whilst I was working in Bulawayo, I met several guys, those that were coming to South Africa, and I ended up coming to South Africa. I never thought the day when I crossed into South Africa the first time around illegally, so that I would end up being a man who owns a fleet of mining machinery, your TLBs, excavators, and drill rigs, the ones that I lease out to mines across South Africa. You will never even have suspected that a foreigner, a man who came to South Africa with nothing. I remember the man who assisted me, he was Perry, and I did not even understand what he was saying. When he picked me up in Musina, this man, he had the heart of an angel. This was a strong, strange language that I had never heard in my entire life. And all that I could hear, these people, when they were talking, was kudu kudu, all the way from Messina, and then they dropped me in Polokwane, and then they assisted me. They took me to the hiking spot, and then they made me to get into another car, even paid the driver, for I did not have any money. Those people were the ones that helped me to get to Joburg. And with the way that I was suffering, I never expected that I would end up becoming so rich. I have so much money. You will see me sitting in front of white people in a boardroom, telling them what I want them to do, what has to be done. I did not get this big through hard work alone. I started by working for this other man in Joburg, and then he brought me to Pretoria. He was a white man, and he taught me how to do landscaping. From there on, I started working, and some other white people that had seen me working with that guy who was my boss, they started to give me small jobs. And then I started my own company, and then I met my baby mama. My baby mama, she loved me, but she was not confident enough to get married to a Zimbabwean man. For if I had gotten married to my baby mama, the one whom I had a son with, if we had gotten married, because what I wanted was documentation, and I did not have any papers, because this company that I had registered, it was just a company which did not have a bank account, and I did not have any registration because I was not legal in the country. So I had gotten a big job where there was this other big mall that was being built, and they wanted someone to do the landscaping, but they wanted invoices and they wanted the CK documents, and I did not have that. And as for my baby mama, she was resisting. She did not want us to get married, and I knew why, because she was scared that maybe her friends will end up judging her. In those days, I was a man that was just working, but I did not have money. Even a car, I did not have. When doing my landscaping thing, I would hire someone to go and drop me with the tools. So I was not that rich, so much that she would want to get married to a foreigner. And because of that, I ended up with my current wife, who is a gold digger, who told me that she wanted me to give her a certain amount of money, even though we were going to stay as husband and wife. But initially, she wanted money. I had to work for nearly 6 months. Each and every money that I was making from my landscaping, if I would do a job for 10K, I would only remove about 1,000 or 2,000. The rest I would give to her, yet she was my girlfriend. I was failing to raise enough money to build a big business like the one that I wanted. That was when I met a man who was from Mutare. He was also into landscaping, but he had gotten a big contract at this other mine, and he wanted me to go and assist him. When I was there, he told me about the other things that he was going to be doing at a mine, and he wanted money to go and buy the machinery that was needed. Within a very short period of time, this man, he was even driving an Amarok, which he had bought from another white man, and it was still brand new. He bought it in Pretoria. And then he told me that he had gone to Mutare, where he had done some rituals, and if I wanted to do the rituals, I was supposed to go with him. I went, Brother Nashi, with this man, and when we went to Mutare, I was given a clay pot, which I was told to keep underneath my bed for 90 days without sleeping with a woman. And then I started to have money. But I was told that there will be a time when this clay pot, after 90 days, when it would have disappeared, there will be a year when this clay pot will return back to me, because I had sacrificed my own seed. Because in those 90 days, I used to please myself. I would open up my phone and then watch some videos of people making love to each other, and then I would start to touch myself, and that seed, I would put it into that clay pot. That is how I sacrificed my own seed. After 90 days, just like what the healer had told me, this clay pot, it vanished, it disappeared. Where it went to, I don't know. And I had been told not to return back to the shrine until I had the money. So I became rich in Pretoria. I bought my first Porsche. Never judge a man who has suffered all of his life, and when he has money, he buys an expensive car. It is because he wants to show the world that he has finally made it. I bought my first Porsche without even a license. I had to get a South African driver to accompany me to Zim. I went to that traditional healer, and then the healer told me the money that he wanted. This money that he wanted, my brother, in order to be cleansed, I was supposed to sleep with a mad woman who was picked in Mutare in town, and then we went with her to the villages. Whilst I was sleeping with this mad woman, the money that I had brought with me, which the driver did not even know that one of the carry bag, it had some money inside of it, which was close to 400 something thousand K that I had brought for the traditional healer. But since it was ritual money, the healer did not want this money before I had been cleansed. We were given a room to sleep, me and that woman. This mad woman, she would bite, she would scream, she would punch me. I was not supposed to hit her back. I slept with her throughout the night. Early in the morning, that was when I took out the money and I gave it to the traditional healer's niece, who took it to the traditional healer. Me and my driver, we returned back to South Africa. I survived for many, many years, and life was so beautiful. My baby mama, she was even regretting what she had done, and I told her that we were unable to get married because on paper I had gotten married to another South African woman who is my wife. Therefore, if I try to get married again, I can get arrested. But I started taking care of her. She would go on vacations with her friends, mainly to Cape Town, and I would give her baby mama allowance. She does not even know that all of this money, it comes from the clay pot. this clay pot, it then started to appear in my dreams. So the worst part about it is that this South African woman, who is my wife, I am grateful for what she did to me. She agreed to get married to me, which meant it was an automatic thing that I'll end up having a South African ID. But this woman that I share my bed with, my wife, she is someone who is only there for the money. She told me from the time when I was dating her, when I told him that my business is struggling, I can't get any contract, and I need a South African woman who can help me. And if we get married, then we can be together. And this woman, she is only married to the money that I have. Sometimes she is rude. If I try to speak with her in a nice way, she does not want to hear anything that has to do about church. So she knows about the rituals, because there are particular rituals that I perform each and every month, and before I give my workers their money. Of course, I do have a human resource manager who takes care of those salaries and everything. But I am supposed to do some rituals, in which these rituals I can't share with you. But the moment that the money for your salary reaches into your account, it would have returned back to me. You will have problems in your life. Your child will get sick. The moment that you get some money, you need to rush with your child to the doctor, especially the private doctors. You will go for days without working. And at our place where we work, if you do not work, it means that you don't get paid. It's either you will get sick, your wife gets sick, or you will have some problems. If it is not about your wife or your children getting sick, your car will have a breakdown that you won't even understand. There was one time when I first did these rituals, there was a guy who had to go and get another key coded for his car after he had lost the key to his car on the day of the salary. The moment that the money hit his bank account, and then he forgot where he had put the car keys, he searched over the place where they were working. He did not find it. And this car, it was a Renault, very expensive, those ones. And when he went to get the key coded, he used a lot of money, a portion of his salary, which returned back to me. It's like these people that work for me, they really work for free. I just give them money so that they can buy food, but in general, they are just working for me for free. So after he had gotten another key, a couple of days later, that was when he found out that in one of the JCB, he had forgotten that that was when he had put the car keys. He was so sad, and I told him that it is okay, it happens in life. So my wife, she hates my baby mama, whom I'll say that she stays in social. She hates her with a passion that is so demonic. She does not want me to give her money. And this makes me to feel so bad, because I only have one child, my son. And in the family from where I come from, I am the only boy. So my wife, she is evil in her own way. She is the one that has told me to keep on doing these rituals, even when there are times when I am depressed, because money rituals, they are so depressing. No wonder why you have so much stories of people that do rituals, because the life that you live, it is a depressing life. You can't tell the people that know you that you are a ritualist. At least if you hear your story being said on air by people that don't know you physically, at least it is far much better, and you get to know what other people think about you. That is why I get so hooked up to these channels that share scary stories and confessions. That is why I have come to you, because I am looking for a way to get out of this business before December, because sacrificing my only child, it is a very difficult decision. I have been told that if I do not make this sacrifice, I am going to lose my contracts. I can even get arrested for tax evasion, even if I have been making sure that everything is kept under tight control. But I had a dream The first time when I started having dreams about this clay pot telling me that it is time for me to sacrifice my own child, I saw that I was being taken to prison, even though the judge said that I was innocent. But behind him, there was a tokoloshi that was standing there, pointing its finger at me, saying that I accuse him. He is not innocent, and I was sent to prison. And when I returned back, my baby mama would have moved on with another man, my son hating me because the stepdad is able to take care of the mother as well as my son. So I had a voice that said, what is there for you to lose? I have revealed to you what is going to happen to you in the future. I said I will run away back to Zim. I had a flashback, and then I saw in Zim I was being killed at a bottle store because I had fought with this guy after he had stepped on my foot when we were drinking alcohol back in Blawayo, and I saw myself being stabbed on my back, collapsing to the ground. Then I died, and the clothes that I was wearing, they were original, but they were so dirty, meaning that I was a poverty-stricken man in Blawayo if I choose to walk away. We are in 2026. I am supposed to sacrifice my son. The coffin that we bought, it was me and my wife. We went out, we were shopping for a coffin as if it was normal. When we spoke with the people from different funeral parlors, they actually thought that our son had died, but we are talking about a son that is hyperactive, a boy that is okay, that has no problem. He is okay, he plays, he is not sick. And yet I was shopping around for a coffin. When we found one, as I had been told to buy for him an expensive coffin, and then I bought a coffin which has glass on top and it is gold coated on the handles. It looks so beautiful. We have it in our house. As we are speaking, there is one room which we have forbidden the maid from ever entering into that room, because that is where we are keeping this coffin. The moment that my son will die, I will take this coffin to a funeral parlor, and that funeral parlor in Pretoria is the one that is going to handle everything that will happen at the funeral. This is my confession, brother. If you are someone that is struggling in life, it is far much better that you look for a job, any kind of a job. It's not like there are no jobs in South Africa. You can work as a security. You can earn money. At least you'll be able to buy your family. If you have kids, that is all that matters. When you have a child, to provide food and shelter for that child, and make sure that you send your child to school. I am suffering. I have money. But when I look at my son, I keep on thinking about what I am supposed to be doing. I wish that there is a man, even on this channel, who has a son that is as young as my own son. Then we can trade places. The spirits can harvest his son, and I can have his life, and then I can get to keep my son. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear brother. That was a translation of his message, hoping that you were able to understand. Let us talk with him in the comment section. Thank you very much for watching. I'll be back with another episode. That will happen at the funeral